Yeah, I stopped there for maybe 20 seconds. The next thought here is that um, is it possible to make a smooth transition to more of a community-based cooperative economy? It's not a communist economy. It's not top-down communist. It's bottom-up cooperative. That's why I don't think throwing out money is a great idea, because you want to keep a measure of accountability, but accountability of the kind that a co-op has with its members, as opposed to anything more hostile. So you need transition strategies that take us from where we are now. Take a company that's in the free market as it exists now, that has a product to offer and making profits from slightly exploitative sales or practices. Everybody's involved with slightly exploitative compared to how a cooperative uh, deal would entail. But anyway, so that's not a judgment. It's just how things are. How can a company make a smooth transition to an alternative paradigm of economy? How could individuals do the same? And governments. And I've visualized the possibility of how this could work. Uh, and of course, it's just theoretical, and it plays out in my mind. There are some studies that back up the idea that a generally forgiving cooperative strategy is the best approach to a gaming setup, trying to fathom out what would be the best strategy at large in terms of dominating an open field. It turns out the dominator strategy is fragile to persistent cooperative strategy. And once a cooperative strategy is in place, if it's friendly enough and flexible enough, it stays stable and it enhances. Um, Somebody Axelrod, the mm, the evolution of cooperation. I've got this book somewhere tagged up, and I will share. So I think we've got company here for a minute. But the transition for a company would be to continue to have business as usual on the outside. Part one is to start treating its like employees as family, and get as close as possible to member-owned cooperative as they can comfortably get without offending anyone or treading on anyone's sense of dignity and worth. So, a transition model of that. And then you identify the resources that your people, as in your family, company / employees, the resources you need to live, to like thrive. And they might not be everything that's out there. It might be just, if people are selective and wise, you narrow things down to as few as possible that'll still give you the quality of life you want. And then you try to find other companies that provide that stuff and make cooperative inside arrangements with them in exchange for they get what your service or product is at the same cooperative inside rate. And you try to arrive at a cooperative network that grounds the local resources you need to be as independent as possible. Now, this doesn't have to happen in an absolutist way, and it probably can only happen bits at a time where it's easy to make the connections. All the easy connections should be made as fast as possible, because there's lots of synergy to be had by lashing together various intentional lifestyles and projects. So, as far as the two visions, the first one, describes what I've sort of been saying. The one from 75, a town that runs its operations right, and you don't even see any, there's no companies, no businesses anymore. They've all dissolved back into a kind of overall township, as if the township were a tribe, and the whole tribe owns all its assets and honors all its members, as the reason why they exist, and they're polishing the jewel of their lives collectively and having a great time, and not and enhancing the ecology around them somehow. Okay. The next one about the 18 different tribes and the war. First of all, it's war footing. We're at war. We're in war footing now. Same thing as I mentioned about the possum strategy. We're opening it up. As far as I'm concerned, I've been trying to get uh, something going on for a while now, and involving exactly what I'm doing right now, getting the full proposal on the table, including some of the weird metaphysical backup, because I think that could inspire some good alliances, um, and further fruitful brainstorming and dialogue. So the clarion cry that it's now full tilt forward means no holding back in terms of our sense of what we think we know. But it also, I think it means we got to be fully impeccable at this point. Rein in our anger, rein in our finger pointing. Although all of this anger in the Tibetan Vajra approach, Tantra approach, is a flash on truth. It should not be ignored or sublimated. You have to honor it. But you don't have to honor its energy of retribution. That can be transformed. So there is a strategy for companies to begin to build collateral in a local network of basic resources like that. There's also the idea that you could pitch the whole, blueprint by identifying the things you would need, and then start filling them in. But you have people already investing in the umbrella as a company, and working with it that way. So some of the other things involved was, and this came up in the 1975. People broke right out of their career designations almost immediately and started doing everybody else's work as they came up, and they were interested in it, or someone just needed a break from something. A lot of people kept expanding their skills. So when you start doing things this way, there's probably more to offer the outside market in terms of new products and new arrangements and new services that genuinely serve, in the spirit of this company that's serving its own members, and honoring them as, like the product of this company is a happy community, our own happy community. In terms of how you deal with, people concerned about taxes, this is not a tax evasion scam. But if you're reinvesting everything into there's not a lot to be taxed, and there's also no reason to tax it because we're taking care of the things that taxes are generally for. So there's a libertarian appeal to this. Should be a complete progressive appeal to this too, because the whole intent is about altruistic safety net and benevolence and nurturing and empowering. There's another 8.5 minutes. So gradual transition, and the idea that different parts of this can be engaged piecemeal. You start to network them together. We could do global networks instantly, right? So a lot of research can go into this up front, so we don't reinvent the wheel. Find all the organizations already tracked or in line or vectored towards some of the energies. And I'm going to put this to rest here. Number 7.